So it's day 6 of the BSA build. So at the moment we have the frame, which is mostly down to bare metal, and it's a frame which somebody's de-lugged, so we're going to put some new lugs on it to hang things off, like the oil tank and the centre stand, side stand, that kind of thing. And we have an old frame which doesn't, well, the numbers on it are rather worn off. You can see bits of it, so not very useful to me. So I'll be taking the lugs off that and adding it onto the other frame. So as you can see, that frame is had most of its paint taken off, and I've got some special paint stripper to get rid of the rest, and I've got some rust protection to put on there as well. And here's the other frame, which is going to be de-lugged, and the lugs are added to that frame. So I've got some gas, and that's argon 5% I use, because I find just using straight CO2 doesn't particularly make a nice weld. Not saying that my welds are particularly nice anyway, and I need as much help as I can get, but they're tacked on at the moment, those lugs. I've used the old tank to space them out. Now all they need is just welding onto the frame. Seems to have done the job, so I'll just clean them up and then move on to the next lugs. So we'll put the oil tank lugs on first, marked up on the frame where I want it to go. The tabs on these always face to the back, so if you're ever welding oil tank lugs on a Starfire, which is rather specific, make sure you have those tabs to the back. The welder is a SIP 170. It's got 3 switches, quite a lot of different settings, and I've got it on around about sort of medium setting. Stick the helmet on. unfortunately we're out of gas, so I'll go get some gas and start again. So I've got some gas, and that's argon 5% I use, because I find just using straight CO2 doesn't particularly make a nice weld. Not saying that my welds are particularly nice anyway, and I need as much help as I can get. But they're tacked on at the moment, those lugs. I've used the old tank to space them out. And now all they need is just welding onto the frame. Seems to have done the job, so I'll just clean them up and then move on to the next lugs. So I'm cutting the lugs from this frame here. Now I know everyone's going to go, you're wasting the frame, but the numbers on this frame have all just corroded away, so it's really hard to see the numbers. So I think the best thing for it is just to use it as a donor frame to go on the other one, using my favourite tool at the moment, DeWalt angle grinder. So let's get through it. So the next thing to do is to separate these two. Now cut the tubes in half. So after splitting the tubes and cutting it back, all you need to do now, it's a bit hot this, is to grind back the tube around here so it fits the other frame, and then you can start to weld again. So I rigged up a bit of a paint room for the day, and managed to get the frame painted, swing arm, a few other bits and bobs. Going to carry on painting today and then start to assemble. Took a load of lugs off this frame here and added them to the frame that I'm going to be using. Using paint's a good idea because you don't end up with the numbers going missing like you do on powder coating, because it's much thicker and obviously the paint's thinner. So the numbers are still there. Paint looks good. I've used 2-pack, so it's nice and hard. There's a swing arm there. Like I say, a bit more painting. Got some silver to do as well, and then I can start reassembly. This is 2-pack or 2K paint with activator in an aerosol. Okay, so what you do with these things is, normally they have another sort of press down at the top. You have an activator button at the bottom. Put this on there, then press down really hard. That pumps the activator into the paint. Shake it for a couple of minutes, and then you've got 2-pack paint, nice and hard, petrol resistant, to paint on whatever you want to paint. So as you can see, fine coat first, let it dry. These paints have got a flash time of about 5 minutes, so straight onto the second coat in about 5 minutes time. That's all that done, so start to rain, time for a brew. and 5 hours and it should be all dry. So we've had a bit of a marathon painting session, and I did the painted thing to the bike. So the frame's painted, I did the swing arm as well. Only got one shock at the moment because I can't find the other one, but I'll dig that out. Fitted the tank, handlebars, but I'll be going for more motocross ones later on. And I was going to stick the rear wheel on, but it weighs a ton, so I think probably best to actually get the bike off the stand and directly onto the bench to be able to put the forks and the wheels in. But that's something for another day. So if you like this video, like it. If you want to see more of them, subscribe to it. Hit that bell button so it notifies you when there's a new video. And I think I need to have a bit of a tidy up and then put the bike directly onto the bench and then start adding the forks and the wheels. Ta-ta for now. Thought, have a cup of coffee, and then I'll just do a little bit more, and I did quite a bit more. So rear wheels on, forks I'm having a little bit of problem with. I'm going to have a bit of mess about with that tomorrow, but it's looking quite smart. So the Scrambler is actually starting to look a bit like a Scrambler. I need to sort out the dents at some point, but this is a bit of a dry build at the moment. Right. What do you think? Put in the likes, put in the comments what you think, and I'll catch you on the next one. Okay, front wheel is now on. Our back on our wheels can now make brum brum noises around the garden. It's looking quite smart. Obviously there's a lot of polishing to do and things like that. But it's good just to have a rolling chassis together, and also it gives me a chance to work out how the battery box is going to be. Battery box and all the electronics. But I think the next thing to work on is getting the engine full rebuild done and sort out those valves that seem rather strange. So hope you like what you see so far. Stick some comments in. The tank's shifted over to one side because I haven't put the coil in properly. I'll sort that out when I get a minute.